A Lawrenceburg teen is a star student inside and outside the classroom. Anna Williams was a straight-A student and varsity soccer player at Anderson County High School. In 2018, she began noticing changes in her health. It took doctors 2 years to figure out what was wrong and diagnose her with type 1 diabetes. Now she's sharing her story to help others, and that helped her win a national scholarship for college.
I was sick for about 2 years, and I was going to the doctor on and off, and they just couldn't find anything wrong. And we even went to a cardiologist because we thought it had something to do with my heart. But eventually, one day I was just really sick. And so we went to my local pediatrician, and she took my blood sugar, and she was like, it's over 500. So you most likely have type 1 diabetes. So we had to rush to UK. I stayed there overnight. I officially got diagnosed on President's Day of 2020. So that was a little bit difficult because it was at the end of my junior year. I take all AP classes, so the course load was just a lot for me to handle, especially trying to catch up within the hospital. So basically that was a tough transition. I personally feel like it was a blessing to be diagnosed during the pandemic because I was able to stay home and really learn how to manage it for myself instead of just being thrown into the world and kind of having to learn it on my own. So I like to think of that as a positive, but yeah.
This came at such a challenging time in your life, though. You know, you mentioned the classes that you were taking. You're an athlete as well. So what was that like, and how were you able to navigate all of those challenges?
Yes. So I don't believe that I would be here and be as positive as I am about what I have if it weren't for my family and my friends and my coaches and my teammates. Kind of telling them that I had this disease, it was a moment of, oh my gosh, I can't believe she has this. What are we going to do? But then we all came together and developed a plan so that way I can kind of transition in an easier way and just have them be aware of it. So, for example, when I played soccer, I told my coach that I had type 1 diabetes, and he always had snacks on him. So that way when my sugar got low, I can just come out, eat real quick, and then continue on with the sport I love. So it was definitely a positive to have support around you. And I think that made my transition and the disease diagnosis a lot easier.
You were able to get a scholarship through the Diabetes Scholar Program. How did that come about?
It's so crazy because as a person with a chronic disease going into college, you just look online for different scholarships that you might want to apply for. And I just found this one, and I was familiar with Beyond Type 1 just from my local doctor. My endocrinologist kind of introduced me to that organization. And so I applied, and the application was wonderful, and it was really in depth on my personal experiences with the disease. So I just felt like it was the right scholarship to apply for. It was definitely something that I could go to, and the organization I can go to for support whenever I need it in college. So that's basically how I learned about it.
You're one of 62 recipients, so congratulations. That's quite an honor. So how will this help you going forward as you prepare to begin your next chapter at the University of Louisville?
Just the support and the connections you have. I have 61 other teenagers just like me that I can go to and talk to about the transition into college and how we feel about it, and maybe what supplies that one person has that the others might need. So it's just about that support and that connection. I'm really glad that I was given the opportunity to go into this community because it's a really great community to be in.
What are your plans for college? Do you know what you are going to study?
I want to study biology and hopefully become an OBGYN.
That's fantastic. So what are the lessons that you have learned through this that may help other people who are watching this interview?
One would be to do your own research. There was a point when I was sick over the course of 2 years where my mom and I just kind of looked up our symptoms. And I know people kind of discourage that, but the first thing that came up was type 1 diabetes. And we were like, no, you don't have that. But as we dug deeper into it, we did realize that I did have it. And some of those clues that we learned online helped us to direct doctors in the right way and where I need to be, which eventually led me to becoming diagnosed with it. So I would say do your own research, reach out to people. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask your doctor and keep going. Don't stop until you get an answer.
The Diabetes Scholars Program offers more than $150,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors with type 1 diabetes. You can learn more about the program at diabetesscholars.org.